Welcome to another RSR. Tonight I'm reviewing Philadelphia Union 4, Toronto FC 0, match 34 of the 2022 MLS season on decision day. Finally, this roller coaster is over. More downs than ups, but there were ups at times. But we'll talk about this game very briefly, and then I'll eulogize the season, because really I don't think there's really much to talk about here besides what happened. In the 4th minute, Daniel Gazdag, ball played to him, puts the ball past Quentin Westberg, 1-0. 42nd minute, Mikhail Ura on the breakaway. Great goal for the Union, 2-0. Ura with a banger of a goal past Westberg, 2-0. 60th minute, penalty given on handball. Daniel Gazdag takes it, smashes it past Westberg to make it 3-0. Then Daniel Gazdag in the 63rd minute slides past Lucas McNaughton and puts the ball in past Westberg with a great shot, beautiful shot, near post, 4-0. Daniel Gazdag gets the hat trick. I called it a couple of weeks ago. About 2 weeks ago. I said Daniel Gazdag will probably score a hat trick against both Italy and Toronto before the Hungary-Italy game. He didn't do it against Italy, but he did do it against Toronto, so I'll count that as a call. I'll count that as a call for me. So, there you go. How do I know? I just know. 4-0 scoreline at full time. Toronto ends their season with a loss. At least they weren't in contention for the wooden spoon. That was already with DC. They can only finish with a point lower than us, so that's great. But Cincinnati's beating their ass, so there'll be a little bit of separation there. With that being said, stats are as follows. 18 shots to 6, 9 shots on goal to 1, 51% possession to 49% possession, 402 passes to 386 passes, 81% pass accuracy to 80, 16 fouls to 13, 2 offside to 1, 0 yellows to 3, 0 reds on either side, and 4 corners to 4. When it comes to this game, Philly honestly just hit on the brake. Toronto could have been a lot worse, or allowed a lot more goals. It could have been worse. It could have been 7 or 8, frankly. Luckily, it wasn't. Philly did what they had to do. They weren't going to win the Shield. They were already out of that. They were trying to finish top of the East, but all they had to do was win. Or Montreal had to lose, but Montreal is trouncing Miami as we speak as well, or has trounced them. So, Philadelphia, all they really had to do was hold serve. And that's what they did. Knowing Toronto, the lineup they put out, holding serve, would do just enough. But Philly scored enough goals as well, because they're a very good goal-scoring team. They're a very good goal-scoring team, Philadelphia. And they deserve to win this match. They did what they had to do. They deserve to win this match. No anger about this. I wish it was more so Bob Bradley could get sacked, but we'll get into that. Philadelphia does what you would expect them to. I have no anger about it. I'm happy it's over. Because what else? I'm happy it's over. Because I would rather this match be over. This season be over. After we got eliminated, these 2 matches against Miami and Philly were honestly waste of my time. And I'm glad it's over. Because, as it should be. With that being said, Philadelphia is a great team. They're going to do well in the playoffs, and it may end up being Philly-Montreal in the Eastern Conference Final. And at that point, I hope Philly whips the ever-loving shit out of Montreal. But that's not what we're here for. As I said, not really much to talk about. It was another flat Toronto performance. Some good defensive plays, but not enough. But even then, is a draw against Philly when you bunker in enough? Is it really good enough? No, it's not. So with that being said, let's honestly just eulogize this 2022 Toronto FC season. Lots of ups and downs for this team. And honestly, it wasn't completely like a really long down stretch and then a lot of ups, or good bit of ups then back to a down stretch. It was a little bit more, it seemed a little bit more intermittent, unlike last year. It did. With that being said, though, when the Italians came in, I expected better. Now, I know they played a full season. I know they haven't had a break by the time they came in. They were playing a year-long stretch. And as well, 2 of them went to the Euros. So, again, a little bit longer. Of course they were going to gas out at some point. Insigne, his head just wasn't in it at times, and I can't get mad at that. His head wasn't in it. He had stuff to deal with. You know, Federico did his best, and I think he's the better player right now. I don't know if that's the way it's going to stay. I hope it does. He's amazing. He's great. I love having Federico on Toronto FC. I think he's a great guy and a great player. But I think right now he's better than Lorenzo by far. And that's exactly what we're looking for in the team. And when it comes down to it, I have to see more from Lorenzo, and that was Crescito, that honestly, he did pretty well as a back. It actually stabilized our defense, I thought, for a good bit there. I won't say completely because, well, there's a reason we got knocked out and mathematically eliminated with 2 weeks to go. 3 straight 4-goal losses, or allowing 4 goals, 4-goal against games, you know, that's going to knock you out. And it's hard to come back from that. But with that being said, the players, they have heart. I'm not saying the players don't have heart. I think the players have heart. There are some young players on that team that I think are good enough to the point where they could be something. I just don't think they're going to be some under Bob Bradley. My thought is I think Bob Bradley is very similar to the situation at Texas A&M with Jimbo Fisher. I think it's very similar, just like MLS fan bases and college football fan bases are very similar. And to me, the way I see it, Bob Bradley is an expired bag of milk. His system is an expired bag of milk that expired back in 2014. Or jug, if that's what you use. In 2014. It's not worth watching. It's horrible to watch, and it's absolutely inane. The only reason we win is off of great superstar play, but once those superstars start gassing out, where are we? Which is very similar to what happened at LAFC. We should have known this was the case and the possibility, but exactly we don't, because we just don't look at history. We don't learn anything. We thought we were too good to play some teams, and that's exactly why we lost. And sometimes we played with 9 during a game when we should have been playing with 11. 2 players didn't even try. We were playing with 9. And I don't know why we would do that. This team, there were moments with that sort of pissed me off. But this team, overall this season, the hype that we got in January, we did not live up to it by any shred of the imagination. By any shred of the imagination. For like 2 weeks in July and August, we lived up to that hype. For like 2 weeks. And then it all unraveled to a devastating degree. So with that being said, you look at the situation, and this team is just a total joke right now. A punchline. And last year they were a punchline, but at least it was like, okay, Chris Armas was never good at the Red Bulls, and Javier Perez tried to do his best to keep this team afloat. Now we get a coach who has great MLS history and great MLS resume and national team resume with the USA, and now he looks, sort of I guess with Egypt too, and now he looks like a joke. Of course it was all going to come crashing down. And it was sort of a reverse nepotism hire. Of course Michael Bradley would play really well this season when he could, because he didn't want to be shit on for anything else. But what do you think? Such is football, such is life. It just makes you wonder. It legitimately makes you wonder, because this team is absolutely just trash. Team's trash. They have to be better. They have to do better in the offseason. They have to actually make good signings and actually make good, smart moves. And they have to fortify the midfield. They have to fortify the defense. They have to get a new goalkeeper. They have to get a good striker. There's a lot of things to do in the offseason. Here's the problem with that. They probably won't do it. Knowing Toronto, they'll just try to say, hey, the Italians got tired. They got tired out and all that. And that's football. They played a whole full year before they came here. They need a break, and they're going to sell that. They're going to sell hype again. They're not going to try to do anything. Maybe one thing to make sure they could sell a hype. They're not going to do anything. I'm afraid that this offseason is going to be more of the same. More what we normally do, except besides last year. More of the same. Sell hype, get people to stupidly buy tickets, and then regret it by June. MLS is a crony organization, and we're a rounding error. They legitimately don't care. And honestly, they only want to make money. And frankly, I'm not going to believe in this team, the Bob Bradley process, until a couple of things happen. But there's a list, and then I'll, as I go, believe in it more. First off, have an off season that I can be proud of and get players that I can be proud of and do exactly what we need to do. Defense, midfield, goalkeeper, striker. You need a big offseason, or at least most of that in the offseason. Maybe in the summer you could get the rest. But don't leave it till the summer again. Most of it in the offseason. I don't think we'll have to worry about them selling players off in the offseason. Whoever's leaving is leaving, but I don't think we have to worry about a mass culling and selling. I don't think we have to worry about that. So maybe more inward moves, and I hope that's the case. Then, win MLS Cup. Win the Canadian Championship. Win 2 trophies next year. Or at least have a chance where it's realistic. How about that? If you do that, I'll start believing. Then, get the Champions League any way you can. And then win the damn thing. Then I'll believe. But they've done enough. Or at least get to like a fighting berth in the semifinals. At least fighting through the semifinals. You know? Fight your way to the semifinals. That's all I want. I want to believe. I want to believe that this is going to work out. But I just don't believe it. I just do not believe that this is the time when this team actually cares. That this plan they have for 2026 is actually going to work. We saw early returns. For like 2 weeks it worked. And then it all fell apart. What are you going to do? You have to ante up. You have to go all in. People are getting tired. People are getting restless. You have to go all in. I know you're not even ready to do that. Not even go half-assed. No, but you have to go all in, frankly. Because this was a roller coaster. 6 points better than last year, same position. With 3 world-class Italians on your roster for half a year. And you're telling me that this is what you want? This is a good process? Yeah, I don't believe it. And you know what? Whenever Bob Bradley does somehow do all he said and make this plan actually work, I will apologize to Bob Bradley for doubting him. In the very similar way that Josh Pate apologized to Mark Stoops for doubting Mark Stoops at Kentucky. I'll do it. But I ain't going to believe in Bob until he makes me believe. I've been burned one too many times, and I think we all have. What a shit show of a year. That's my eulogization of 2022 for Toronto FC. Shit show that shouldn't have been a shit show. But sort of, they made it a shit show. They shot themselves in the foot and made it a shit show. And it's funny how I compare Bob Bradley to Mike Leach, because 2020 Mississippi State and 2022 Toronto FC, very similar. Yeah, there were good moments, but overall it was a shit show where we really underperformed to where we expected to be. Hopefully, and next year, problem with TFC, next year can't even be like 2021 for State. We have to be really good instead of just do enough to make the playoffs and see what happens there, you know? Sort of situation. We were complete shit. We can't just sneak in next year. We have to be better than that. And that's the thing. That's what I see. That's what I think. So with that being said, if you liked this video, Like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification. Once subscribe, send super chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlists. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. TFC, the season is over. And honestly, I can't wait to have a break from y'all because at least I got state in Canada to make me happy for the rest of the year. Let's have some fun during the MLS Cup playoffs and the rest of the CONCACAF League. But we'll see you again in February, or, well, January. See you again, Toronto. Hopefully next year is better. Still love you, though. With that being said, see you Tuesday for 2 lives. Both CONCACAF games live. RSR4 Motagua, Olimpia Motagua. Lives for both Alajuelense, Real España, and Olimpia Motagua. We're going live for both. We'll do the review of the second game because I think that's a smarter move. So we'll do double lives, 1 review on Tuesday. That'll be great. With that being said, happy decision day, y'all. My end is over. Let's enjoy the Western side of things and see you for the playoffs and CONCACAF, the rest of CONCACAF. See you then and the World Cup. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. TFC, you're disappointing. Peace.